Hello, all my friends in TV land. This is Senior Issues, etc. I'm your host, Vita Verdon. I never know whether to say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good midday, because I know this show is seen in so many places that it's seen at different times. But welcome, whatever time it is. And I have a really interesting show for you tonight. Now, through my cameraman, Joe, he brought this to my attention that there's a non-for-profit organization in the Lake County area, Conserve land for Lake County, and I wasn't too sure what it was all about, but I have with me a gentleman who is the associate director, and he's going to tell us what their function is, when they got started, and what it's all about. And believe me, as Martha Stewart would say, this is a good thing. So I want you to quickly go and get your paper and pencil, get your coffee, get your tea, get your Coca-Cola, whatever. Come and sit down and pay attention, because I have some educational material for that I think you'll be interested in. I like to bring the word out on this, and I want you to sit back and relax. And I'm bringing with you now Nathan Aaberg, who is the associate director. So nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Vita. Thank you for inviting me.
Now, I do know we're friends. You know, the audience and me, we're buddies. We've been doing this now for a number of years, and we've gotten to know each other, and I know what they want is they want to know something about you. So if you could just, you know, tell us like a little bit about yourself, and, you know, whether you have family, and I want you to give us a little bit of your background. They'd be very interested in that, Nathan.
Sure, I'd be happy to. So I grew up in Logan Square in Chicago.
So did I.
Did you really?
Yeah, I was born at 3001 North Troy Street.
Oh, wow. It was at 2517 North St. Louis.
Oh, that's not too far.
Yes. So not a lot of nature in Logan Square.
No.
But my parents bought me a Ranger Rick magazine, and my father was also a teacher who brought home animals. So we had newts and gerbils and all kinds of animals. So that first piqued my interest. And I worked for a Japanese company for a while. And I was exporting Winnebago motorhomes to Japan.
That's funny.
And eventually I realized that what I really cared about was nature. And so I changed my career. And I first started working at Friends of the Chicago River, which is another environmental group working to protect the Chicago River. And then I heard about a job opening with the group called Liberty Prairie Conservancy, and we changed our name recently. And I visited Lake County, and I was so struck by how beautiful Lake County is. And I thought this would be a great place for my family. So my family and I now live in Grays Lake, and I like to say hi to my family.
Okay, you have a wife?
I have a wife, Mayumi, and I have 3 children, Alden, Owen, and Naya. So I just want to say hi, and I can't wait to see you tonight.
Oh, no, we don't do that here. What we do is great big smackaroonies here on this show. Okay,
all right.
So first one for your wife.
Okay.
Okay, and each child has to have a separate one.
Okay, this is a lot of work, Vita.
Oh, I know, but you got to do it. It's a mandrake here.
Okay. Alden, I'm not sure if you're going to like this. He's a teenage son. And then Owen, and then Naya, my 5-year-old daughter.
Oh, that's good. And I'll give one to them, too. So anyway, what we want to get to is what I know the folks out there want to know is what is Conserve Lake County? When did it start? Tell us a little bit about the roots.
Sure.
How did it get going?
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
We were first formed in 1994, and we were then called the Liberty Prairie Conservancy. Because when we were formed by a group of people who cared about a piece of land between Grays Lake, Gurnee, and Libertyville that was called the Liberty Prairie Reserve. The name is not so important. What matters is that these people cared so much about this open landscape that had prairies and woodlands and forests, and also had a lot of farmland. And they said, we want to keep this place open. And how do we care for it? And so they formed us to kind of help bring everyone together and to preserve open land and to help people take care of it.
And there was a farm on this land?
We're getting to that one.
Okay.
And then, so that place has almost 6,000 acres.
Okay.
And together, many public agencies like the Forest Reserve in Libertyville Township, as well as many private people.
Well, you know what? I'm going to interrupt you right here because I want to draw a distinction that you're a nonprofit environmental organization for conserved land. It's not the conservation forest preserve.
Right. So Lake County has a great forest reserve. It's called the Lake County Forest Reserve District.
Right.
And they were formed in 1958. And they have preserved over 30,000 acres of land. So they are an excellent, excellent organization. We are a nonprofit, and we help people we help people take care of private property that's not in the forest reserve.
I see.
So together, the Forest Reserve and Conserve Lake County do a great deal for nature.
So you sort of link up and you are a support system for each other.
Exactly. That's a great way of putting it.
That's a good thing.
That's a great way of putting it.
Good.
So, so in 2004, our organization said, you know what, we can maybe offer some help to the whole county, not just the Liberty Prairie Reserve, but the whole county. And so we began to protect open land and preserve open land and help people take care of nature throughout the whole county.
But it started with that piece that had the farm on it, right?
I'm going to get to that one. So,
okay.
So
I'm keep drumming for the farm, right?
So the farm you mentioned is Casey Farm.
Casey Farm, right?
Yes, and in 2007, we purchased Casey Farm so it wouldn't be developed and the farm wouldn't be lost. And we knew about Casey Farm for a long time because Casey Farm is in that area we call the Liberty Prairie Reserve. And we knew all the neighbors and all the people who had good open land. And
so you were already forming an open dialogue to establish. I see.
Yes, so we've been talking with Helen Casey was her name. Her family had been farming Casey Farm for 140 years, which is pretty remarkable. And they love that land, and Helen Casey loved that land. Her grandchildren grew up playing in the stream and having fun on the farm. And so, but eventually they had to sell it. And we were able to bring together several public agencies, including the Forest Reserve in Libertyville Township, as well as some private donors. And we were able to offer Helen Casey and her family enough money so that they would sell it to us, and so it would be kept a farm forever.
So then, when did that come about?
That happened in 2007.
Okay.
And that was a 34-acre farm that we purchased. And it's a beautiful piece of open land, but one of the bigger pieces of significance about it is that farm is right between the Des Plaines River Trail, which goes from Wisconsin to Cook County.
Okay, so that's north and south.
North and south.
Okay.
And then there's a trail system that's being developed looping throughout Lake County.
Like a spaghetti bowl.
That's like a big spaghetti bowl.
Okay.
That's going to go through Grays Lake, Round Lake, Wakanda, back to Mundelein. And Casey Farm is right between those two trail systems. So by preserving Casey Farm, we're making possible this trail linkage that'll eventually mean a 72-mile trail system.
So prior to this, you had two trail systems. So if I'm hearing you correctly, with the connection that it's no longer private property, you're making that connection, it's going to be one extensive up, down spaghetti bowl.
Exactly.
Right? Is that correct?
That is correct. And the spaghetti bowl is still being worked on. The Forest Reserve is doing much of that. So it's not quite complete. It's called the Millennium Trail, and it's going to be an amazing trail system. I think it's going to be over 30 miles. And that Casey Farm is allowing the connection to happen. And the Forest Reserve is making the trail connection, and it's going to go under Milwaukee Avenue.
It's going to go under
Correct.
Milwaukee Avenue, so they have to build the tunnel?
The tunnel is already complete.
The tunnel is complete?
Complete, yep.
And so they're just working on the exterior?
Yes, well they just have to, they're widening Route 21
Oh, right.
So when they're finished widening it,
Yes.
that trail connection will be open. The tunnel's already built.
The tunnel's already built.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, so that's a good thing. So that's nice that you work in coordination with the conservation department.
Forest Reserve, yes. They're great partners. They are excellent partners.
You can complement each other and accomplish a lot more.
Exactly. We really believe that we can't do much for open space in Lake County unless we work together with a lot of partners. We're all about partnerships.
Well, I know that it must have been a small number of people that started your organization, and what is it up to now?
We have about, our email list is about 2,000 organizations and people. We have about 700 member households, and it keeps on growing in support. What's really exciting to me is how many people and organizations care about nature. It's really exciting.
Well, I think we talked a little bit about this before the show, is that's connecting like with the community, is like connecting with the community family, because we've had such a disintegration of the family unit that this, when you're connecting with the community, puts you in touch. It's like connecting with family, and this is our family responsibility to conserve the land and enhance it to its biggest appeal. Well, I know you have a lot more information to share, but now I just want to go, this is my pearls of wisdom into my little commentary. Well, there's a few things I want to talk to you all about. One is to go into our website. You know, I have fashioned the show just what everybody out there wants, and that has been, I'd say, the success of our show, that we've expanded and we're online. If you go to our website, you can see any of the past shows, and that is Senior Issues, etc. is etc.org. Now, when you go into the website, what I want you to do is scroll down, and there will be a link, and the link will bring you into the last show that was filmed. Like this show that you're watching now, this is also will be up on the website, and you could see this again, or all the shows that go after it. And right after that link is another link which will bring you into a blog of the show. So you can see any of the past shows, or you can go into the blogs and see if you want to see any of the subject matter on the last shows. And we also are a non-for-profit organization. And if anybody is interested in helping us stay on the air, which we're only supported by, we're volunteers, but there is expenses with the show, and for $100 or more donation, then we will also list you on our donors page on the website, and we will mention you on the air. So that is something to think about. And as I go back to Nathan, he's going to also tell you how you can contact his organization, which is a very important organization. And another thing that I'd like to talk to you about is that the subject matter of the show. Now, this show that you are currently watching came to me. It happened to be through one of my crew members here, Joe. I call him Joe Pass the Water because, well, it's different in Italian. But he brought it to my attention because he happened to have some business with this organization, and he had never heard about it before, and he thought that this was worthwhile filming. So that's why. But if you have a subject matter, or you feel that you want to present something, please bring it to my attention. And how you could bring it to my attention is going onto the website, or you could also email me, and that would be smallcasing@netzero.net, or if you want, you can call me, and my telephone number is area code 847-573-1233. Or if you're in Libertyville, you can just make your way on Cook Avenue to Liberty Towers and come and knock on my door, and I'll invite you in for a cup of coffee, and we can talk about, what you have to contribute to the show. or if you feel that you'd like to come and be a part of our volunteer group, it's a lot of fun to learn how to televise a show. We're into our 14th season of doing it, and believe me, when I started, and there's some people here with when I started, I said, you know what, this is fun. The day it ceases to be fun is when I'm out of here. But you want to know something? It's still fun, and I love you for it. You have kept us on the air. So this one, for you, I give you all the smackaroonie. And we're getting back to Nathan. Now, Nathan, I'd like you to talk about, I know you have a lot of different programs, and so I'd like to bring that to our audience's attention. And the one I'd like you to discuss a little bit is where you go into people's homes, and I think they'll bring a graphic up on the screen. If you can tell us the name of the program
Sure.
and exactly what you do with it, they would be interested in this because it's free. That's part of it, but it's a good thing.
Well, Vita, the program you're discussing is called Conservation at Home. And it kind of fits with our general philosophy is that we want to help people help nature. That's how we think we can do. And there's so many people who want to help nature, but sometimes they don't know how. And so this program is designed to help people help nature close to home. All of us have backyards, or most of us do, backyards or lawns. And if you do certain things, you can be really much more nature friendly. And you can enjoy nature at home and be a good neighbor for nature. So how this program works is you give us a ring or you check out our website.
Give the telephone number
Yep.
and the website.
Sure. The phone number is 847-548-5989.
Okay.
And then just listen for the prompt for Conservation at Home.
Uh-huh.
And then we also have our website, which is www.conservelakecounty.org.
Okay, so give the telephone number again.
Sure.
Now, when they get on the line, there'll be a selection that they have to pick from.
Correct.
All right.
And there'll be a prompt. There'll be an announcement saying, "Press this number for Conservation at Home." So
Okay.
just listen for that prompt.
So, okay, give the telephone number again.
Sure. 847
Okay,
548 5989,
okay.
and then just listen for that prompt.
And the website one more time?
Sure. It's www.conservelakecounty.org.
Okay, now this you do absolutely free for people, and then tell them what they get afterward.
So, well, let me just tell you how the process works. So
Okay.
they call us or contact us.
Okay.
We set up an appointment that
Okay.
works for them,
All right,
and then one of our staff comes out and visits them for about an hour.
okay,
And they walk around the property. That's just outside the house, not inside the house.
right.
And we talk about the property and how they could do some things that were better for nature.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, maybe use some more native plants. Maybe plant an oak tree. Because if I could have your audience remember one thing, it's that native plants that have always been here, are so important to birds and butterflies. They're so important.
So that encourages everything.
Exactly. So,
It brings about the homogenesis of it all.
It brings back the diversity of Lake County. Lake County has more rare species than any other county in Illinois, which is amazing. We're so close to Chicago, but yet we have so much nature still here. And if we take care of nature close to home, we can help our beautiful nature survive in Lake County. So we come and we answer a lot of questions. And then I'm not sure if you can see on the map, there's a little picture of a sign. And if you are doing enough good things for nature, you also get a little plaque that says you've been certified by our Conservation at Home program.
So you get your gold star plaque
Exactly.
like you would in school. Oh, that's such a good thing.
Exactly.
And now I know you do have other programs.
Well, can I just finish up? Just one last thing.
Okay.
I think you may be showing on the screen the map of Lake County, and you'll see all those stars.
Oh, yes.
And those stars show where we have visited homes and other properties in Lake County. We've had businesses get certified. We just had our first church get certified. So everyone's getting involved. So I just want people to know that there's a lot of momentum, there's a lot of energy. People want to do the right thing for nature, and we're helping them to do that.
I did want to mention that this program that you're talking about, the boundaries are Lake County, and the show extends into Evanston, and I think that Evanston probably has some similar programs, but it would be a different program because I think that's a part of Cook County.
Correct.
So I just wanted to throw that in. So that is one program that
Correct.
you have, but there are several other programs in the works.
Right. Well, as I mentioned, since 2004, we've been helping people in Lake County preserve open land. And so since 2004, we've preserved over 450 acres of open space. And so we accept conservation easements. People can donate land to us. And in like the case of Casey Farm, sometimes we buy open space so it stays open forever.
Well, like in making the land ecologically friendly, that also helps with the pollution problem, doesn't it?
Exactly. Open space helps absorb pollutants, and it also absorbs rainwater so that we reduce flooding. So
Well,
open
how does
space
it
is,
resorb? I don't understand that.
well, if you can imagine a parking lot,
Okay,
when it rains,
yes,
the water can't soak into the ground.
okay,
So the water goes into the sewers and goes
Okay.
into the rivers.
all right,
And it goes in very fast.
okay,
And so the river can't handle all that water coming in so fast.
Uh-huh.
And so it rises quickly and then spreads out. And that's how come we get flooding. If you have a prairie or a forest, the trees and the plants kind of slow down the water. Then the water hits the
so
ground.
because of it, the absorption,
Exactly.
I got it now,
And
I
it's-
got it.
And those prairie plants, some of them have roots that go up to 10 feet deep.
Higher than the plant.
Exactly. And so they can absorb water and hold water so easily, and that reduces flooding in a big way.
I know I go up into the Botanic Gardens, which is in Lake County, and there is a tram that you can go on, and they bring you through some of the prairie land, and they give the benefits of prairie land, you know,
Yes.
and until you hear these things, you don't understand the benefits. You know, especially after living in a concrete jungle,
Exactly.
to know, oh yeah, right. We need these kind of balances to
We do.
keep us sound, to keep us not dehydrated, so to
Right.
speak.
Yeah, I would just add that I think sometimes we think of nature conservation as just for wildlife, and wildlife is very important, but nature conservation is all about keeping our places and our communities livable.
Right.
It makes it beautiful, it increases property values, it's good for our children in terms of how they develop, and it's also good for preventing flooding.
And it's
so
good for
many-
our health, and it's good for our soul, and it's good for our spirit.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I could not agree more.
Now, you do have other programs.
Well, we also sometimes bring people together for planning. Like we still work in the Liberty Prairie Reserve, and we bring people together to find common goals and work together to take care of the land that's there. We sometimes are also an advocate. Sometimes we speak up for nature and suggest policies or ideas that would be better for the county. And then we sometimes also have education programs too.
And so if they go to the website, they probably can see all the current affairs that you have.
Exactly.
Okay, knowing that you have, that yours is a non-for-profit. Now, I know if anyone wishes to donate, what is your money level that then you give them something?
Sure, the minimum level is $50.
Okay.
But you can certainly give more if you'd like. You can give online through our website.
Okay.
Or if you wanted to, you could call me. Can I give my number?
Sure.
It's 847-548-5989, extension 30.
Extension 30.
Extension 30. And I'd be happy to send you some information and an envelope, and that would work out very well too.
And so then they would be insured of your publication.
Sure, they would receive our publications.
That is out how often?
Twice a year.
Okay.
And then they would also be listed in our annual report as one of our givers. And then they would also receive discounts on some of our educational programs.
Okay, so your educational programs, let's just give us an example, maybe a hike, would that be?
Sometimes we have hikes, and then this fall, for example, we're putting on a program with two other partners, Ryerson Woods and the Forest Reserve District. That's about the impact of climate change on the Chicago region. So it'll be like a lecture which will be really interesting. And so you get a discount for being
and
a member.
And that is going to be seen when?
I believe it's November 21st. So you'd have to check the website. I'm sorry, I don't know the exact date.
Okay, so that would be seen on the website?
Yes.
And so then if it goes up on the website, maybe they will eventually put it on the website
Yes,
too.
It's already on the website.
It's already
Yes.
on the website.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. And so now, what is your job as the associate director? Are you involved in all these programs, or do you specialize in something?
Well, I guess my two primary jobs are related to fundraising, finding people to support our work, and then also doing some of our communications and communicating about our work so people understand what we're doing and why that's important.
Do you do this communicating in writing, or do you lecture, or do you go out to different, are you available for different organizations like senior centers?
Yes, I am, as well as some of our other staff are available to speak at local groups. We also have our publications that I mentioned, our website. Sometimes we talk to the media as well.
Well, I think you'll get a good reaction on that coming to their home.
Yes.
Yes?
I think so.
So maybe you could give the website and the telephone number again, because I'm sure people would be interested in it who didn't get to their paper and pencil fast enough.
Sure. So the phone number is 847 548 5989. And then the website is www. I'm just going to spell it out.
Okay.
ConserveLakeCountY.org.
Or if they have missed this, they also could call you.
Absolutely.
Nathan, and you have given them the telephone number, and it's extension 30.
30, very good.
And you could put them in touch with it. One of the things that you switch careers in midstream, so to speak. You switch careers to follow your passion, so we know where your heart lies. So in doing this, you have been sort of on the pioneering step of watching this grow. And what gratification do you get out of it?
Well, that's a great question. First of all, I just have to say how much I enjoy and appreciate open space. It just and the fact that we can preserve it, and I can see places we've preserved.
Just look in the camera and tell them.
The fact that we've been able to preserve open space, and I can see those places like Doka Muskota, Casey Farm, the property of Sue and Cyril Wadley, has made me feel just so good about our work. And I've also feel very good about our staff, because we hear such great comments about our Conservation Home program. People say, "You've helped me so much."
Now you know what time it is now. When you out there come to the end of your rope, you tie a knot and hang on, and you know why? Because the best is yet to come. And what we want you all to do this week is, you know what? Catch the spirit. We love y'all.